During my preparations of this interview, I read somewhere that a few of the reviewers compare your music style with the style of the great Mr. Albert King. Is that a correct way to introduce Mr. Chris Cain as a musician?
Well, I mean, I loved Albert King since I was a child. You know, I mean, my father was a truck driver, but he loved blues, so he showed me the first things I ever played on the guitar, and he introduced me to everybody that I love. You know what I mean? He was born in Louisiana, and he grew up on Beale Street, so he had a great record collection. He was just, and I was really lucky, you know, because I got to meet Albert and BB many times, and just anything that I do is this record here was just something I made at home because I love my father, and I know this was kind of the style that he really loved, you know. Yeah. So I was just doing that for my own personal. It's kind of a love letter to my father, right? And then it became a record, but because of my father and what he loved, that's why I did it. You know,
like you said, your father took you to every place where music was played, so you were in a way destined to become a musician.
Yeah. I mean, you know, he never said, do this, I like this, no. I love this. He didn't say, he just kind of had me there, and then saw Ray Charles, I saw people, you know what I mean, and then just kind of stuck. But you know, now that I miss my father and things, it's even more strong, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I understand, yes. Blue Rock Records brought out your first album, Late Night City Blues, in 1987. After you played mid 80s, that was the period that you started.
Yes.
It was nominated with 4 blues awards, so a good start.
Yeah, I was just.
You remember that time that.
And none of that was planned, because basically I borrowed the money to make the album so I could just work around where I live, and I thought if I had an album instead of a tape that I would give a club, that then they would pay more attention, you know. And so we made the record. I borrowed the money, made the record, and then when the record came out, next thing you know, I was in Belgium at the Rhythm and Blues. It was like one of the first times I ever went overseas. Came to the Rhythm and Blues festival here. It was in Paris. Yeah. And so that was the first time I ever traveled.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't found somewhere in the. It's great to hear.
And it was like not the plan. It was like the plan was just to play around where I live, you know what I mean, and have some jobs.
You know Belgium a bit?
I do.
Our specialist.
And it is totally special. And I think everything that's happened to me, there's nothing that I ever planned. It was just beautiful gifts that kind of dropped into my lap, really, because I love to play the guitar, and I would play it at my house. I don't care where I would play it, but I would have to play it. But it just kind of snowballed on me, and you know, next thing you know, I was on a plane, and I was here. And
your latest album is laying here on the table.
Yes, sir.
A few remarks, a few questions about the album.
No.
It's I think your 10th album, 10, 11, when you count also the
Yes,
live
sir.
album.
Yes, sir.
Your 10th. It's the first one without a title.
Yeah, I just.
I never understood that really. Why does an artist doesn't give a name to it?
Well, you know, Ray Charles' first record was called Ray Charles. Okay.
Yeah, but like you said, his first record.
That's right.
Then you haven't enough.
But this is kind of.
To...
This is Chris Cain right here. It's just you know what I mean. I mean, I could call it Martha if you want, but I just think when I was recording this, I was thinking of my father, and I was thinking of the things that he loves, and I was thinking a lot about Ray Charles and people that I love too, you know. Yeah. And so it wasn't going to be a record, so it was just this was something I was doing just for my memory of my father, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I didn't call it a name of a tune or you know what I mean? It was me, you know.
Just a remark, because it's your 10th album, I thought that's why.
No, but yeah, it's just me.
For me, it's a real blues album.
Yeah, that's the first one I've ever made that is just as stone blues as I could do it, you know, because that's what my father really loved. He loved Guitar Slim, he loved Ray Charles, he loved things like that. So I was making this at the house just to listen to as a love letter to my father, really. It was what it was. And then Kid Anderson was my guest on my Tuesday night things.
Yes, he was your producer.
And he heard this thing playing, and he goes, "Hey, what is that?" You know, and I go, "Oh, that's just something I was doing for my father's memory." And he goes, "That sounds really good. You should come to my studio and record." And I go, "I'd love to," you know. And then Jimmy Pugh heard these things, and then because he was my guest, and so yeah, the next thing you know, it became a record, right? And it wasn't supposed to be a record. It was just supposed to be just a personal thing for my father's, you know what I mean? But they made this happen, and I mean, I've been playing for maybe 35 years in blues and trying to play it. And this record suddenly, guys that I've known for 30 years were surprised, you know. I mean, I always loved this style of blues because it's my father's thing, you know what I mean? And so it was just a happy bunch of mistakes that turned into a record. And I'm really proud that it is a record.
Yes,
and I appreciate you even talking about it, because
8 of the 10 songs are originals. So for you, songwriting not a big job. No.
Well, I mean, it's
an easy job. No.
No, it's not.
No.
But it's because something that just
great
always
songs. That's why I ask you this.
Yeah, because you know how it is. It comes to you when it comes to you, and if for me, it's like if an idea comes to me and I'm near my stuff, I can make a little demo so I don't forget, and then hopefully it turns into a song. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's always been different since the first song I ever wrote, and it's just an amazing, you know, it's like an amazing bunch of things that happen to make the song happen. And suddenly, from your mind, there's a song. You know what I mean? It's like,
you already mentioned Kid Anderson and Jim. I hope
Jimmy Pugh, yes.
Pugh, that's the right pronunciation. They both are the producers of the record. Other people in the lineup are Larry Taylor, Ron Nagel or Ron.
Yeah, Tony Blano.
The drummer.
Yes, sir.
Also great guys.
Yeah. And see, it wasn't any of my plan to have those guys. It just was like a gift that fell into my lap. These, they called Larry Taylor, and who's one of my. I mean, anything I play on bass that sounds good at all, I got from Larry Taylor. So I mean, to have him in the room was, you know what I mean? Just there he is, right there. And you know, Kid Anderson, of all the guitar players I've ever known in my life, he's one of the greatest. Just a great guitar player. He knows.
And all the people want to work with him.
But because what they do in his studio is like nothing anybody does. It's like the first time that I ever recorded in there was when he first moved there, and I played on some people's records, and I had a great time, you know. And then I met him, and I mean, you know, he's an amazing person. Yeah. I mean, just an amazing person, amazing musician. What he knows about just guitar playing in general, he knows a lot of things. He loves it so much, you know, and so to become his friend is like been a gift to me too. You know what I mean?
You know, Mr. Cain, you know about what you are talking, because you're not only a singer-songwriter, you play guitar, you play piano, you play saxophone. What is your favorite instrument?
Guitar, always.
Guitar, because on every song you play the guitar. Just on one song you play I think the alto sax.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, he let me do that.
One of the most swinging songs, you play the sax.
Thank you.
That's a great song.
Thank you. I mean, I love Cleanhead Vincent.
It was Kidney's You.
Yeah, I love, you know, because I love Cleanhead Vincent. I always loved him. And, you know, Kid was beautiful just to let me, you know, they let me play piano. They let me do things that I don't normally do on my records, right?
What is the most personal song on the album? The song that you like a lot of? That's your song?
Well, I think it's Sitting and Wondering, because I I wrote that song. I was thinking about my father, and I was thinking about Ray Charles, and I wrote this little song, and then I thought, I wonder if I could, if I could make like 6 or 7 songs that would be like a little package of songs that would be like kind of a tribute to my father. You know what I mean? And so then I just started from that tune, and I kept writing tunes, and then, you know, I made a disc that was a demo. You know, just to listen to when I'm at home and just thinking about my papa. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to this again. Yeah.
And then it turned into a record, you know, so it was not my plan, but I'm really honored that it is a record because I think my father is one of the greatest people I've ever known, and so if anybody likes this, then they love him because that was what I was trying to do, you know?
There are also the usual songs about women.
Yeah.
But there is one song there, the title is Telltale Signs.
Telltale Signs.
What's the song about? Because I have tried to find a good translation, but
well,
what's the song about?
I had a girlfriend that I was with for like maybe 15, 16 years, and she had problems, personal things, and I stayed with her for a long time because I cared, and she ended up dying because of her problems and things, and but I was writing about just trying to. I want to be a friend, but I, you know what I mean. I guess so. It was just a personal thing, you know.
I don't know your exact age, but
I'm 61 years old.
61, oh, a young guy. I'm 66. So that's no problem. Do you think that there are enough young people to do the following up? I have the same Jimmy here, and he's 74, so
Yeah,
he named someone. But do you think there are enough youngsters that are capable to do?
Well, you know, where I live, it's like there's young guys that are they're like my kids. Play guitar. They're like in their 20s, and they love to play the guitar. They love, you know what I mean. It's like, so when I get around them, I feel excited again, because most of the guys my age are like, you know, they'd rather not play. If they could just get the deli platter and, you know, go, did not have to play, it'd be better. They like it probably better, but they just, you know, after a while, I think guys get old, they get tired of stuff. But when you're in your 20s, you know, they're very excited. So when I get around those characters, I feel like I'm 20 years old because, you know what I mean? They're excited about guitar, they're excited about records, they're excited about anything, you know what I mean? Most of the guys my age are like excited about going to bed, or, you know what I mean? Like maybe lay down for long, you know. But yeah, so I think that the young gentlemen that I've met love it just as much as I did when I was a kid, you know what I mean? And I think that's all good stuff.
Good to hear.
I mean, they're different people than guys my age were when they were 20, but maybe better, you know, I don't know.
I don't know, yes.
I don't know.
Do you have also something like a list with things that you want to do? Still want to do? I always call it the famous bucket list, so that's things that you want to do.
Well, you know, I mean, I just...
Places you want to play, or people that you want to play with?
Yes, I do. I mean, I just talked to Bernard Allison. I met him before one other time, but my thing, I always thought if it would be something where people that I really respected liked what I did, I would feel really happy about that. You know what I mean? And I really didn't want to be anything more than just what I am. I just like to. I love to play the guitar. You know, you love to write songs and you do what you do. It's like, but I never had a plan. I just locked myself in a room for a long time with records and play the guitar. But I love to play it, and for me, if I could just keep playing the guitar and I could just keep meeting fellas that I love the way they play and they love the way I play and I could play with them, that would be the most beautiful thing that could happen in my life.
Great to hear. What did you learn about yourself by being a musician all that years long?
I'm just that I really love the guitar, and I love to play it. And I have something, I don't know what it is inside of me that I have to say somehow. Like, even if it's just, I don't know, at my house on a disc that I only listen to, but just to get it out of my, it's like therapy for me, I think.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's like therapy. Because I just feel like, you know, I mean, I don't know what happened to me, but now that I'm a little bit older, things just bring me to tears. You know what I mean? Like certain things that are beautiful, sad, whatever. But I mean, so I just feel like if I can just have some kind of an opportunity to get that out of me, even if it's in my house on a disc that just nobody even hears, but just to, it feels good to me. But if I can play and people want to listen to it, and they come and listen, I love to play my guitar for people. I love that. I mean, I've always loved that, you know. I used to play for my father. I love to play, I love, and if they can feel anything that I feel in my soul, then I feel it's a success, you know what I mean? If they felt it too, then I feel happy.
What are your plans for the near future? Doing new stuff or some
well, you know, I mean,
gigs somewhere? I don't know.
Yes, wherever they let me play, I will play. And if I can play with, like, these gentlemen, it was a wonderful experience. And traveling has been a beautiful thing for me. Just to go places where I don't live and where I maybe don't even speak the language, but I don't know. That would be, for me, this is maybe the best time in my life, just to be able to play the guitar for people and to travel places I haven't been. And if they like it, then
enjoy it. I have a last question, Mr. Cain. The band tonight is the band of Luca Giordano. So what may we expect, or what's on the set list tonight?
Well, we're going to play a kind of cross-section of stuff that I've done with bands when I travel overseas and things. There's a lot of different things that we play, but I've known Luca now for, it's been maybe 15 years, and so over that time I've come to Italy and I played with them, and so it'll be stuff that we've played before from some of my records. And
do you work with a set list or something like that? No,
well, they have a list of things that they are familiar with, and then they'll just put it on a piece of paper, and then as the set list goes, I just kind of go on my emotion, what I feel. But Luca is he's just a beautiful person. I mean, this is one of the first times that I ever met people that I was doing a national guitar workshop, and Luca was there taking the workshop, and he comes up to me, him and his friend, they were from Italy, they get this wild hair, and they're like, hey, you want to come to Italy? And I'm like, yeah, you know, because I mean, people say that all the time, but it never happens, right? Next thing you know, I'm in Italy, and I met him and all of his family and everything, and he's a beautiful person. So I haven't seen him in 10 years since the last time I came, and he called about coming and doing the festivals and things. And so just to see him and to be able to play with him and things, and I mean, because he's a beautiful, beautiful person. So it's just, this is another gift that, like, the guitar is like a piece of wood that I picked up, and it's taken me all over the world because I saw B.B. King play it, and I met you today. I met a lot of beautiful people, and it's just because of that piece of wood that I'm sitting here talking to you right now, and because of things that like B.B. King and things that I saw do.
You're right. It's that piece of wood, but you have also needed to have the
Yeah, no, I love it. I mean,
it's
it's more
the
than
gift.
it's more than a piece of wood to me. You know what I mean? It's like my best friend I've ever had since I was 8 years old, and you know, it's just it's a gift that came into my life that I paid attention to. I mean, a lot of people have guitars at their house, but this thing said something to me when I was little that is still in there. So, I mean, I feel like everything that's happening is just wonderful, and I just try to appreciate it a lot because it doesn't have to be this way. I could be like at home just wanting to play for people, but I get the opportunity to actually do it, and I feel lucky. So, right now at 61 years old, everything is like a prize to me. I'm just happy to get up in the morning and still want to do anything, and it's just thank God for the guitar because it's a beautiful friend to me.
Thank you. Mr. Chris Cain, that were my questions. We thank you again for your time. And thank you, Elaine, for your great music.
Thank you very much. Huh?
Thank you
I appreciate you even taking your time. Thank you. Thank you.